Hey, and I'm live and I'm waiting to see if anybody comes in. If not, it's really okay because this is the only way right now that I can make videos because I don't have signal. So like I have signal because obviously I'm live, so I have signal, but I don't have strong enough signal to upload my videos to YouTube at the moment. So it's easier for me to go live and to make live content than it is for me to do uploaded content at the moment, although in a couple of days time I will be uploading content because I will be traveling. Believe it or not, I've got to travel 133 miles to get my vaccine because they refuse to do it where I am. So I'm hoping I get some people come in, but if not, then I shall just go ahead as if I am making a normal vlog, and I will talk about Adventureland at Disneyland Paris. That will be what I talk about in this if nobody comes and joins. I'll give it another couple of minutes and see if anybody joins, and if not, I'll go ahead and I shall talk about Adventureland. I shall just wait and see if anybody joins. I thought, oh, bit of a surprise stream, but hey ho. I'm like that though, because if I do things, like if I schedule things, then it falls through. I've got a viewer. Thank you for joining. I've been saying to myself that I only have this way of hi Jodie, I thought it was you. I was just saying to myself, I've only got this way of doing YouTube videos right now because of the signal situation, because I've got signal to go live but not signal to upload. So I was like, well, if nobody comes in, I'm going to talk about Adventureland at Disneyland Paris because that was the next one I got to in my series. So that was last year, so that's just what I'll do. Oh, I've just taken the price tag off of my off of her. So you good, Jodie? How's everything been going? Yay, Adventureland! With the first ever inverted roller coaster at a Disney park. Which one is it? Which one is it? Because Adventureland at Disneyland Paris has the first ever inverted roller coaster at a Disneyland park. Oh yeah. Yeah, I was a bit like that as well, Jodie, and I was feeling really down. So I was like, well, I know that it's like really short notice, and yeah, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Peril. It used to go backwards. It went backwards from, I think it was from 2000 to 2004 or 2002 to 2004. And that was terrifying because that ride is you do that enough on it, and then to do that backwards, mess of the sink. Mess of the sink. Do I care? No. Mainly because I've not had the mental positivity and vibes to do much. Not today anyway. Today has been a very much a bed day. But yeah, so Adventureland at Disneyland Paris. Yeah, it's Indiana Jones. Me and Carly were too short to go on it when we I bet he had the shock of his life then. I've got, Jodie, no word of a lie, I've got a duvet, 1 blanket, 2 blankets, purely because I keep buying blankets because like there's only 1 washing machine and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's 17 of us on the farm at the moment. It came off white as a sheet. I'm not surprised. It was traumatizing when it went backwards. But yeah, because there's 17 of us on this farm and only 1 washing machine, like using the washing machine is a nightmare. So I keep buying more bedding just so that I'm not taking up the washing machine. Like, it's not the washing machine that takes forever, it's the tumble dryer that takes forever. It's like, ugh, takes good 2 hours or so to get anything dry. So it's, and then by that point you've got a queue of people waiting for the roundy washy thing, the washing machine. But yeah, I'm not surprised your dad came off white as a sheet. I'm really not, because when it went backwards, it was so scary. Like, you get into it and you think you think you're going to go forwards. You don't. It went backwards. And you used to have, like, because it used to be called Indiana Jones and the Temple of Peril, and then it went ... backwards. So that was terrifying. Also, at Disneyland Paris, we've got Skull Rock. What else could you want? We've got Adventure Isle and Skull Rock. We've got a second maze. When you go into Adventure Isle, you've got all the, to find that big bridge, that big, like, bouncy rope bridge that a lot of people are terrified of. But ultimately, everybody goes over it jumping. Everyone turns into a kid and goes over going doing, 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 knocking over the person in front of them, and it's absolutely hilarious. But yeah, Walt Disney World don't have that. But then we don't have Jungle Cruise. We need Jungle Cruise. Like, I don't care that there's multiple languages. Just do it. It is. It's really full of adventure. And it's like, Adventure Isle, hello. And we've got a restaurant inside Pirates of the Caribbean. If you don't like the ride, we need to see Pirates of the Caribbean. But if you don't like the ride, just go and grab some food. Yeah, we do need Jungle Cruise. We really need Jungle Cruise. I love letting Carly go first and then jumping on the... Yeah, it's got to be done. You've got to say... The unspoken rule of that bridge is you let the person that you're with who is terrified go in front of you, and then when they're halfway across, you come on the bridge bouncing and boinging, being Tigger, and then that's it. It's fantastic. And it's beautiful. Adventureland's really, really beautiful. Like, especially at night when it's all lit up and there's little hidden, like when you're going in and out of the rocks and doing that little maze in there's a little hidden section and you see a little part of, it looks like it's part of Pirates of the Caribbean. It's not, it's just like a little add-on thing. And that's all lit up in blues and purples. And you've got Carl and Russell from Up sitting on the riverbank, and you've got the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse. Yeah, they have. Okay, we all know they have that in other Disney parks, but let's face it, the one in Disneyland Paris, what the hell were they thinking with it? Because as much as I love the Swiss Family treehouse at Disney World, yeah, the music from the but the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse at Disneyland Paris, like, At Disney World, you go up and you stop a bit and you look around. The one at Disneyland Paris is going up. Okay, I'm going up. Okay, I'm still going up. Okay, I'm going up some more. Okay, I'm going up. There's a Kit Kat in there. I'm going up some more. Ew. And it's not as if, like, at the one at Orlando, you get a really, really quite a good view of the entire park from what I remember. I think we had quite a good view of Magic Kingdom. And the the one at Paris is just surrounded by, well, I didn't get a good view from that one. I thought I'll go up there, see if I can see that. No, I can't see the fireworks from here. Coming back down from there is just heaven. Because you're like, I'm going down. I'm going downstairs. But yeah, I remember going on there. Every time I've been on there, I've been up that tree house. When you get to the very top and you see the bedroom, look on the bed. There's a Kit Kat. I said that word. Ozzy. I'm not going to say that word again. It is really high. You can actually, Jodie, you can see the Eiffel Tower. Yeah. You can't make out that it's the Eiffel Tower, but you can see it. You can also see the Eiffel Tower from Panorama Magique. When you go up in the balloon, you can see the Eiffel Tower. But it's so, because it's in the distance, it's minuscule. It's not even worth. You wouldn't even realise it's it unless you've got the mother of all zooms and zoom in. You wouldn't even realise it's it. It's so small. You've got, like, you can see it excellently. Not a fan of that balloon then, Jodie. But no, you can see the Eiffel Tower brilliantly from the Eurostar. So if the Eurostar starts up again and you want to see the Eiffel Tower, but you don't want to go into Paris itself, which is understandable, just you can see it on the Eurostar. Look out the window to your right. When you're at the airport, when you're approaching Charles de Gaulle Airport on the Eurostar, look out of the right-hand side window. If you're travelling in a forward-facing direction, look out your right. If you're travelling in a backwards-facing direction, look out the window on your left. You'll see the Eiffel Tower. It's just a straight up, like that. It's in the distance. You see a straight up figure, and you can just about see it starting to, yeah, but it's there. And even Jay's seen it, and he was so happy that he'd seen the Eiffel Tower. He wants to go up it, obviously, and he wants to see Notre Dame, but he's a bit upset about what happened to Notre Dame. So I think he wants to wait until he can actually go into Notre Dame before he goes to Paris itself. But yeah, he wants to see the Eiffel Tower close up and go up it. But yeah, Eurostar, if you don't actually want to go into Paris itself, if you're a bit anxious, because it is a big city and it is a French-speaking city, and I will say this, it's the same with London, it's the same with any big city. You can get quite rude people. It's just the way it is. London's the same. You get rude people. You get friendly people, but you'll also get rude people. And if you've got a bit of an anxiety about that, then just look out the window in the Eurostar, you'll see it. It's perfect. And I know that from certain angles on the plane coming into Charles de Gaulle, you can see it as well. I couldn't when I flew out there because it was the night. It was pitch black when I landed. So to that. But anyway, yeah, back to Adventureland. Pirates of the Caribbean. Disneyland Paris's Pirates of the Caribbean is by far superior. We flew over it on the way home once. It was dark and it was lit up. Yeah. I didn't see it lit up when we went because there was too much cloud. So by the time we came through the cloud, Eiffel Tower gone. But yeah, I tell you what, Jodie, if you ever go to New York, and this is fantastic, when I first went to New York when I was 14, we all went up to the observation level of the Empire State Building, everybody was looking for the Statue of Liberty. It was like that. From the Empire State Building, the Statue of Liberty is like that. We had to, like, we could tell it was it because of the colour and because it's on an island in the middle of the river. But yeah, it was like that. So that's quite a funny one. Like, you go and you have such, oh wow, it's the Statue of Liberty, but you only get that feeling up close to it. Like, when you see it from the top of the Empire State Building, you're like, what? Is that small? Yeah. Anyway, back to Pirates of the Caribbean. Our Disneyland Paris's Pirates of the Caribbean is by far superior to Disney World's Pirates of the Caribbean, by far. The only thing I do not like about our Pirates of the Caribbean is our redhead. Because obviously over in America, they've got Pirate Red. She is Pirate Captain Red. They've got her there. She talks. And ours doesn't do that. Ours is just a reworking of, ours is the original plan. But when they said they were going to change the redhead scene, ours was in the blueprint. So Disneyland Paris's new redhead is what was in the designs for the new redhead. And yeah, I'm not surprised it's better than the Cali one as well. The only other Pirates of the Caribbean that has anything on our one, I believe, is it Shanghai that everybody rages on about? But yeah, our one is just so superior to the American ones. It's unbelievable. But our redhead, like I said, when they said they were going to change the redhead scene, when you look at the original plans for the new redhead, they all look exactly like what we've now got at Paris, which is just basically a change on what was the original redhead. She looks very much like the original redhead, only she's now got armor on. She's made to look tough, and the change of the animatronic is great. Like the way she blinks and she moves her eyes, it looks so real, and it's. When I first saw it, I had chills. It was quite scary. I thought, oh my god, she looks real. She's moving her eyes and blinking like really swift movements and everything, like a real person. I thought, oh, they've really gone for it here. And our Captain Barbossa, oh, how good is our Captain Barbossa? They don't have that in Orlando. They don't. And how amazing is he? He's just, but yeah, our Barbossa is just fantastic. It's yeah. Also with ours, we get that, like with the American ones, you're pretty much straight into it. With ours, you're going through, like, there's a big build up to it. You don't go straight into Pirates of the Caribbean. You are sort of going through quiet and darkness, and you go past Captain Jack's restaurant and you see the restaurant on your left, and then you go through, you see the cats in the water. I whispered it and he even knows. Yeah, you go through that area, you've got the pirates swinging, and of course you've got the Davy Jones, Captain Blackbeard scene in the mist. And I like that they speak both French and English. Yes, the Paris one has a much more solid storyline, and it always has. It was the last one to be made to feature characters from the movies. They kept it as original as they could for a very long time. But they put, when they were making the rides for Disneyland Paris, they were very much aware they had a lot at stake, and they wanted to make this such a pristine, they wanted to make it the park of all parks. So, like, think of the Big Thunder Mountain, for instance, and they were like, we're going to make it twice as intense. And they did. And exactly, Phantom's storyline the whole story, the way they tied everything in Frontierland together. They didn't think of it at any other Disney park. How did they not think of it? Tie it all in, because you're not just walking into Frontierland at Disneyland Paris. You're walking into a town. You're walking into a functioning Western town that has been struck by a tragedy that happened in the manor. And it's just the way they thought of everything. And when they brought Phantom Manor back after its refurb, oh, that was amazing. They just, wow. But yeah, they've kind of got a storyline going on throughout Adventureland. Like you've got on one section, you've got the whole pirates area. In another section, you've got Agrabah. So I've spoken about the pirates quite a bit now. I've mentioned Barbossa. I'm not going to mention what he does, because if someone watches this in the future, I'm just going to say we've got an awesome Barbossa. And so going off from Adventure Isle, that spun me out so much. California, there was no clear move between. No, exactly, they do at Paris. There is a very clear move between lands, and there is like I said, they fought, especially. Okay, so Tomorrowland in Orlando is really good. That to me, like, you can't beat Tomorrowland in Orlando for that side of the park. Discoveryland, yeah, okay, but it's not really got the same impact as the one in Orlando's got. So yeah, but anyway, Adventureland, like we've covered the pirate section. Now Agrabah. And in Agrabah, you've got the Aladdin passage walk through. It showcases the storyline of Aladdin. And this is an amazing little walkthrough. It's a hidden gem of an attraction, and I love it. It's just brilliant. Just walking through that little, and you see the different scenes from Aladdin in the windows, and when you come out, you often bump into Jafar, quite literally in my case. I literally walked into Jafar because the exit of the Aladdin walkthrough, I don't know if you've noticed, Jodie, but it's exactly where Jafar stands. But you can't meet him there. You have to queue up to meet him across the other side of that courtyard. So you come out of the Aladdin walkthrough, there's the exit, and Jafar stood just there. So you sort of come out, oh, Jafar, I'm in someone else's photo. So but Genie often, like I've seen Genie meeting there as well, and I've also seen Genie meeting across the other side as well. So yeah, Jafar, Genie, Aladdin and Jasmine do a meet and greet there together. I've often seen Abu as well out in that area, and it's great because they have to, like, they walk from one end of Adventureland to the other to get on stage, and it's brilliant because if you're just happening to go that way, you can have some amazing character interactions. No, I know. Especially Skull Rock, you can get some amazing pictures in there, and the lighting is stunning. Yeah, Aladdin's Passage, that is such a cool little walkthrough. And you obviously, food-wise, in Agrabah, you have got the Agrabah Cafe Agrabah, which is usually a buffet, but not sure when it'll go back to being, but it's still all you can eat, but I'm not sure when it'll go back to being a buffet. What I would like them to do, and this is honestly the way I think this is the way forward for the all you can eats, is not for them to have this food already on plates and you say what you would like. I think what they should do is what they do at places like the Garden Grill in Epcot, where they just bring over a great big skillet of stuff and put it down, and you can choose what you want out of that skillet. That to me would be a much better, and with like the Agrabah one, bring over some little dishes about that big of different dishes from that area of the world, because we have like, you have like stuff like chicken kormas, chicken madras, samosas, and different rices and naans and all that lot. And I think bring it all out and put it in the middle of the table, and people can just work their way through it. Because to say, like, in my opinion, having something already on a plate and you tell them what one you'd like, what dish you'd like, and they'll go and get it for you. I'd like to point out, because I know that people in America will not know this, you pay before you eat. That's that, you pay before you sit down. You walk in, you pay, they take you to your table. When you finish, you leave. This is the thing, there's not a tipping culture in Paris. There's no tipping culture in Paris. In France, there's no tipping culture. I have tipped there before, and I have friends who have tipped there before. But I personally don't tip anymore when I'm in Disneyland Paris. Because it's just not something they expect, and it's not something you have to do because they're being paid well. Well, they're not. They could be paid more. I'm not going to argue they could be paid more, but they are not. They're not relying on tips for their income, and it's not expected. And I have tipped in one restaurant there before. I've left my tip on the table. Someone else has pocketed it before the server, and I saw it happen. And someone else I know tipped, and their server actually ran after them and said, "You forgot your change." Tipping is just not. It's not mandatory. Tip if you feel you want to, but just know that you don't have to, and that you will be expected to pay before you're seated. So, like, you pay on arrival, and that's at any of the buffet, or which is now all you can eat restaurants. You pay before you go and sit down. You get entitled to one. You have one drink. Often the buffets include one drink, one soft drink. If you're an annual pass holder at the table service restaurants, if you're an Infinity holder or a Magic Plus holder, you get a free soft drink. So yeah, but yeah, overall, like, especially that the Agrabah and the Plaza Gardens, all that lot, I think the way forward would be to bring over a selection of foods, put it on the table, and let whoever's there decide what they want. It doesn't have to be big portions, because that way, like, say I'm on my own, which I often go on my own. As a person on my own, I don't mind that the plates are already made up, but I feel like I would waste more. Like, I just do, because, like, I like certain foods, but when they've pre-made it and they've made it into a dish of its own, and I'm like, but I don't like that, and I wouldn't match that with that, and I feel awkward. So I would much rather than bring a selection of foods over to the table, or if they ask you, when you sit down, if they ask you what sort of foods you like, yeah, before long, I think buffets will be back anyway. I honestly think another way forward with the buffets would be to have people manning the stations, the different sections of the buffet, and you tell them what you'd like, and that, or you go along and they make sure they sanitize the spoons before the next person uses it. It's just the way forward at the moment, but let's face it, it's not going to be like this forever. It's not. We're going to get there. Anyway, carrying on with Adventureland. So we've done Agrabah. You've got a few shops in Agrabah as well, and a few really good and really cute photo locations. So look out for those. But yeah, so the next part is the jungle sort of part. So you've got, as you come around from Agrabah, you'll find the Baloo, Rafiki, all that meet and greet. And it's fantastic. King Louis. I've seen Timon in there. But yeah, it's you. They've got a meet and greet there. And then you'll also come across restaurant Hakuna Matata and Colonel Happy's Pizza Outpost. And Colonel Happy's Pizza Outpost is so cool because, right, in the Disney Village, you've got the Rainforest Cafe. Now, the Rainforest Cafe, for anyone in America, the Rainforest Cafe is nowhere near as good in the UK and in France as it is in America. We don't have the same menu. It's sponsored by Pepsi. It's got sponsors. It's actually got sponsors. In America, it doesn't. It's owned by Landry's. Over here, it's no. So yeah, like in America, there's the Landry's Club. That doesn't exist here. So Colonel Hattie's Pizza Outpost. Oh, Jodie, no. Right, girl. I'll take you there. When you next come with me, we're going to Colonel Hattie's. And we're going to have some amazing, like, Mickey pizza. Yeah, they do Mickey pizza. We're going to have some Mickey pizza, some pasta, some garlic bread. And the setting, it's like being in the Rainforest Cafe, just without the price. Wow. It's proper jungle themed and it's fantastic. Like, Jay loves it. Jay absolutely loves Colonel Happy's Pizza Restaurant. Like, he waited outside. We were there when I last went with Jay was May 2019. He's mad at me because he's not been for a long time, but COVID has now stopped 3 trips for him. More than that for me, but 3 for him. But yeah, when we last went, he actually waited outside Colonel Hattie's Pizza Outpost on one of the days for it to open because he wanted to be in there before the queues, which I thought was quite funny. So he loves it in there. He loves the Pizza Outpost. It's exactly the same menu as over at Pizzeria Bellanotte. Exactly the same menu. So if you've eaten it, Jodie, if you've eaten at Fantasyland's Pizzeria, then you've had exactly the same food as what's over at Colonel Happy's. So don't worry about that. But the other restaurant in that area, like you said, is Hakuna Matata. And their food is just insane. Like, Brian Hull on his channel pointed it out absolutely amazingly. What were you about to say? Yeah, same food but different theme. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Exactly the same. But the other quick service in Adventureland, there's food that you will not find anywhere else on site. And that is at Hakuna Matata. Across the way from Hakuna Matata, you've got that little kiosk that sells croque monsieur and other bits and pieces, like chicken nugget cone. A cone full of chicken nuggies. Chicky Nuggy. I'm trying to get him to respond because Chicky Nuggy is his favourite treat. You want Chicky Nuggy? Chicky Nuggy? Chicky Nuggy? It's not time for Chicky Nuggy. Hello. Hello. It's time for some Aussie madness to interrupt the stream. No. I haven't done that character meal. I haven't actually been for the Lion King festival. In 2019, I literally couldn't get there for the Lion King festival because I had no time off at that point. And then last year I had time off. Like, I knew when we were having galas and stuff, so I knew when I would be able to go. I knew when we had private things, so I knew when I'd be able to, like, and when we were doing garden centres and stuff, and I wasn't necessarily needed, I thought, right, 2 days there, or we've got a day off there, I can go on the Eurostar, do the stuff, come back, and be ready for work the next night. Like, I can go for one night, come back tomorrow morning, and I'm ready for work. Couldn't do that because we didn't go because of COVID. So I still haven't done that character meal, but it looks so good, and I can't wait to do it when we can go again. So that's another one we're gonna have to do together, is that meal, definitely. So I would suggest at restaurant Hakuna Matata, all of the food is actually really good. Like, I love it. I can't go in there when I've got Jay. There's no, actually there is stuff there he likes, but there wasn't. There is now, but there wasn't. Next time I go with him, he'll probably see the menu and he'll go, "Oh, it's on there." Right. As for the rest of Adventureland, if you carry on along that path, you'll come to, there's like a little trading outpost. There's like a little Lion King trading outpost, and there's a couple of little trading outposts in that area actually. There's one that is mainly Lion King stuff, and then there's one that's mainly Indiana Jones stuff. And I will tell you what else that you often find, and you'll find if you go onto the video of when I was in Adventureland with Jay. Geese! Canada geese! Why did I say that? We were walking through the park, and I kid you not, we had a whole family of Canada geese walk out of the bushes in front of us, and they're there waddling along, and my thoughts, I thought, I'm in Disney. There are geese, and I can see their bums going, and my mind instantly went dig 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 from the Aristocats, the Goose March and the Aristocats. I said the magic word. But yeah, I this is amazing. The whole family of geese doing the march from the Aristofelines. And they actually marched their way to a gift shop. And the staff, the cast members, like, they created Goose. I know, I really was. And the cast members, like, created a little way around them. They were trying to shoo them off to go off in the other direction. They were like, "Don't come in the shop, don't come in the shop. Oh, they've pooed on the ground, someone needs to go pick it up." They genuinely did say that. They said they got on the radios and they said they pooped on the ground, we need someone to come and clear it up. And then of course they walk into this gift shop, the Indiana Jones like gift kiosk. I thought that was just fantastic. They want to go buy some Indiana Jones stuff. But yeah, so down that end of Adventureland is where you'll find Indiana Jones and the Temple of Peril. I always want to say backwards, but it's not been backwards since 2004. It was backwards when I went for my birthday then. I went for my 18th birthday and it was backwards. When they were making Adventureland originally, that was actually going to be an entirely Indiana Jones land. But it's not, and I'm glad it's not. I don't think it would have been as good if it was. Like, I think the idea was to have an Adventureland and an Indiana Jones land, but they just, nah. So I'm glad it's not. But yeah, Adventureland is such a, like, overlooked little gem. And I would say the best time to visit Adventureland, Disneyland Paris, is nighttime. Go when it starts to get dark. or when it is dark, which if you're going in the summer is going to be very difficult. If anyone from America does watch this and you're thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to go in June and I'm going to go and have a look at Adventureland at the night. Sorry, but the fireworks can't even go on until 11:30 at night in June because that's when it's dark. I'm not lying. It doesn't get dark until, hi Tina! But yeah, I'm not lying. It doesn't get dark at Disneyland Paris until 11:30 in June. So if you think, oh, I'm going to do that, I'm gonna go and see Adventureland at night when it starts to get dark, and it'll be all pretty. You're going to have to go earlier in the year, or you're going to have to go in winter, or you're going to have to go just not summer, because you won't see it in the dark. March is a really good time to see it in the dark. Yeah, that's a really good time to see Adventureland all lit up. And I think Adventureland lit up is just, make sure you go into Skull Rock when it's dark and you'll see it's just beautiful and stunning, and make sure you go up the Swiss Family Treehouse when it's dark and all lit up. It's just stunning, absolutely stunning. And make sure you go and see Carl and Russell. But yeah, it's the only other place you'll get that sort of prettiness is in Pirates of the Caribbean. Tina, are you still here? I'm talking about Adventureland at Disneyland Paris today. If you're still here. So I've pretty much covered Adventureland. Jodie, are you still here? If you are, shall we talk about Fantasyland as well? Because I haven't actually spoken about Fantasyland on any of my videos yet. And I'm feeling like I could talk about Fantasyland as well. Oh, thanks, Tina. I've just spent the last sort of 45 minutes talking about Adventureland. If anyone else comes in and anyone else wants to ask a question, I'm happy to go back over some of the stuff I've just been over. But Fantasyland, if you want me, yeah, should we move on to Fantasyland? Because it's awesome. So Fantasyland, which section of Fantasyland should I start in? Should I start at Casey Jr. or should I start where Fantasyland meets Discoveryland? Let me know, Jodie. Because, or even start at the castle, like, or even at Frontierland. There's like there's loads of different areas I can start with Fantasyland. I will cover the very special something that we've got in Fantasyland as well. The very special something that is very scary for young children. And it has something to do with a mystical creature. Start at Peter Pan from Pirates. Okay, yeah. So we'll start from the Adventureland into so there's literally separating Adventureland and Fantasyland is like this sort of chalet, sort of Swiss chalet sort of house, and you go underneath it and you're in Adventureland. But if you come back, like literally you're at Pirates of the Caribbean. my ass was playing up. I need to take my inhaler. Literally, I walked a dog yesterday and I had a massive asthma attack when I was in the middle of walking the dog because of all the dust that's in the air around here. It's insane. So I'm so glad I've got my vaccine on Thursday, because if I get sick while my asthma's playing up, I'm dead. But so coming through from Pirates of the Caribbean, you can head straight through the sort of the little housey shelter thing, go through there, and immediately on your left is Peter Pan's Flight, which I will say this now. You've got no hope. Unless you get a fast pass, you've got no hope. And even when you've got a fast pass, guess what? You're still queuing. Even when you get there for early magic hours, if you're staying on site or you've got an annual pass, I have been the very first person into that park before. And the amount of people that I have seen leg it, take off at speed as soon as rope drop happens. Like they let you in for extra magic hours when you're staying at a Disney property or you're an annual pass holder. The park officially opens at 8:30 for those people. That's when rope drop is, but they actually start letting people in anywhere between 7:30 and 8:00. Like I've been in the park at 7:30 on a January morning before, which is also on my channel. If you go back, if you look back a few videos, you'll see like the Castle in the Dark. That was in the morning. That was at 7:30 in the morning. The queue is really long. Yeah. I might have to go and get my inhaler actually. Yeah. Last time I was there, Jodie, as you'll know, it was literally when they were closing for COVID. I was there the day before. I knew it was closing from everything that was going on. I could see. And so we had one day when there was shows and all sorts, and then the next day it was dead. There was no one there. And halfway through the day we thought, oh, we're not going to go on Peter Pan because it's too busy. We went past there and the queue line said 5 minutes. We're like, what? So we legged it. We're going on. And when we got there, it was a walk on. We sort of went there. We get to the turnstile. There's still no, it was literally a walk on. For the first time ever, I sat in the front of the pirate boat. I've never done that before. I've never sat in the front of the pirate ship on that ride, and I finally got to do it. And it was a black and red ship as well, so it was like the proper Jolly Roger. I was like, and then when we came off the ride, it said that it was a 10-minute wait. And I could actually see, because obviously, Jodie, you'll know this. Tina, you won't be used to this because of the American parks being different. The queue line for Peter Pan's Flight in Paris is outside. You only start to go undercover once you're approaching the turnstiles, and you're only actually truly inside once you're on the ride. And I couldn't believe it when we got off the ride and it said 10-minute wait. If you look on my Instagram, I've got the picture of the cast member going. That's because she couldn't believe it either, that it was a walk on, and you could see the turnstiles and the queue. It was still a walk on, even though it said 10 minutes. It was as if people had gone, we better make it look like it's busy. But it really wasn't. And like, the only other time I've done that ride is literally first thing in the morning when it opened. Like I said, that morning, literally everyone ran to that ride. And within 5 minutes of rope drop, usually Peter Pan's Flight is a 25 to 30 minute wait. And then within about 15 minutes to 20 minutes of rope drop, it's at a 45-minute wait. And it'll go up to anything up to like 120-minute wait. And so yeah, that ride is so popular. And like, unless you can get a fast pass, which in Paris we're still on the paper fast passes, but yeah, unless you can get a fast pass, just you're not getting on it. And also in that area of Fantasyland, if you go back into that little house thing and you walk over to the other side, because there's the river comes through, you get to Au Chalet de la Marionnette. I think I said that right. I probably haven't. I always get the name of that one wrong. This is one of the quick service options at Fantasyland in Fantasyland. So, and it's my favourite one. It's one of my favourite quick service locations of Disneyland Paris, purely because of their feature menu, their menu number 4. Because they are, Jodie, you'll know this. Why do we have our menus numbered at Disneyland Paris? You've got meal 1, meal 2, meal 3, or meal 4, the magical meal. Basically, you're getting a special limited time. Usually it's limited time, but it's not. Like this one, it's not limited time. In this one, it's like a pretzel sandwich. So it's a pretzel bun inside with, and it's like, they say it's a pork loin, but it's gammon, so ham. And it comes with applesauce, and I think it had sauerkraut. I'm not sure. I can't remember what it had, but it was so nice. And obviously you get some fries, a drink, and you get an apple strudel for dessert, which is so nice. So yeah, it's a great quick service. And I know, right, they should use a nickname, not a number. They should use it. That's a Pinocchio themed restaurant. Just to put that out there, I haven't mentioned that. It's a Pinocchio themed restaurant. And the pictures, the artwork in the restaurant is just stunning. It's so beautiful. And yeah, every quick service, apart from Casey's maybe. And Casey's don't actually do meals though at Disneyland Paris. It's just sort of mix and match. But yeah, they just to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Je peux avoir mon numéro 4, s'il vous plaît. Avec citronnade. Hello, whoever's just joined. But yeah, that quick service restaurant is so nice, and their meals in there again are really nice, and they can be really big. Like, they've got this huge sausage. They've got like a Catherine wheel sausage, and it's huge. And it's so it's nice. And no word of a lie, the last time I went in that, this was around about this time last year. The last time I went in that, a couple of weeks before this time last year, and I went in and I took a window seat, and all of a sudden, like that, in the window is Ariel. No word of a lie, Ariel's looking like that through the window at me. But of course, Jodie, you'll know the glass is all like distorted. So so there's this really weird looking princess looking through the window. And all the princesses with their chaperones walked past from Adventureland and went up towards the pavilion. I was like, oh, I've seen the princesses. Okay, so Fantasyland. That section of Fantasyland is also where you'll find Dumbo. And last time I went, he was working. He went under a massive refurbishment. Dumbo was closed forever, but they completely deconstructed it. And I mean, like, you could go to a certain place where I shall say in a moment, and you could see everything that was going on in there, and it was gone. The ride was gone. But yeah, he's had his makeover to look exactly like what's in America, and he looks stunning. We haven't got the circus, like the play area, thing for kids while they're waiting in line. We don't have that one at Paris, but it's not needed. The queue never gets big enough for it to be needed. But yeah, the queue never gets big enough for that. So yeah, but yeah, Dumbo's in that section as well. Also, not far from that section, if I'm thinking of Peter Pan's Flight, Jodie, is that where Toad Hall and Meet Mickey is? I'm pretty sure that's Peter Pan's Flight goes around, doesn't it? And I'm pretty sure that's where Toad Hall is, which is another quick service restaurant, which that's British food, so that's your fish and chips, various, yeah, British food. And it's been closed for ages, like even before COVID, it has been closed for a long time. Because again, it's having a major refurb. I mean, for all we know, the menu could change when it comes back. Just have to wait and see, because it's been closed for a very long time now, Toad Hall. So we just have to wait and see. And then not far from that is Meet Mickey. So Meet Mickey at Disneyland Paris is... Thank you. I completely forgot. I completely went blank, which is really bad considering how often I go. It's just I don't eat in Toad Hall, so I was like, is it the Toad Hall? Oh, I've got to make sure it's there. Thank you, Miriam. I completely blanked out, and considering I used to be a CM, I really should have. Yeah. But yeah. So Toad Hall is your typical English food, fish and chips and that. Yeah, it's been closed forever. We'll wait and see what happens when it reopens and what it looks like. And I'll have to go in there for the first time ever, because I've genuinely never eaten in Toad Hall. Never. That's why I forget what that one is that's next door to Peter Pan. I'm like, is it? And then you've got your Meet Mickey, which in Disneyland Paris is a little bit like what's in Orlando, only it's like a theatre setting. It's not the same setting. It's a theatre. It's but it's not. It's different to Orlando. It's and at the moment, obviously, you've got it's closed, but before they closed. Yeah, Miriam, I've never been in Toad Hall. In all, I go when Disneyland Paris is open. I go pretty much every other month, but I've never been in Toad Hall, not once. Even when I worked there, I didn't go in Toad Hall. It's just something that I didn't do. I fell in love with Hyperion and Restaurant on Coulisse over at the studios, and Colonel Hathis and Hakuna Matata and Fuente del Oro. There's so many good quick service, and yeah. Meet Mickey again. Usually this one, the queue doesn't get as long as what the Peter Pan queue is. Usually the queue for Meet Mickey is around about 40 minutes. Although, again, I don't go into the Meet Mickey. I don't bother with the Meet Mickey because there are other opportunities to meet him. And as nice as it is to see him in that setting, like be on stage with him and he's all fancy and everything, and I would like to do it. But there are ways to meet Mickey without the mega long queue. So I'd much rather I'd much rather go into, say, the Disneyland Hotel, see what character they've got there at about 10:30, 11:15, when breakfast is just sort of rounding up, and there's no queue for the characters. Like, I went in there once and Goofy was saying, come over, he's calling me over, so often a really good way to meet a character is to go into MICKEYMOUSE. Sorry, I had to do it, Jodie. You said that. But yeah, really easy and quick way to meet a character. Go into the Disneyland Hotel, and yeah, you'll get to meet Mickey and or whoever else is in there. And there's no queue. Like if you're going when breakfast is just winding down and most people have just gone into the park, there's no queue. So go meet the characters in the hotel. It's great. If not, go and meet him when the parade's on, because literally that's when everybody's going to wait for the parade, when the parade comes back. So yeah, which I'm actually now getting rather worried that we won't get the parade back, because we are getting a new parade for the 30th anniversary, which is next year. I want to see Stars on Parade at least one last time, because that's my favourite daytime Disney parade ever. So they better bring it back at least once for us to give it a proper send off. A bit like Festival of Fantasy, they better bring it back at least once for it to have a proper send off. Anyway, sticking with Fantasyland. So we've done Peter Pan's Flight, we've done some restaurants, we've done Meet Mickey. We've got an awesome Alice in Wonderland attraction, and that is the Labyrinth. And it's Alice's Tea Party, it's the Labyrinth. It's just that's awesome though. Don't say ouch, I'm 30 next year. I'm over 30. I'm the older sister, Jodie. Don't remind me. But yeah, Alice's Curious Labyrinth. It's amazing. And you go into this labyrinth. So many people completely ignore the doors in the hedges. They open, go through them, have fun. So many people just follow the crowd of people that are winding around. They don't even look at what's around them. Just take your time in there. It's fantastic. You will get to the Cheshire Cat. You will get to the Queen of Hearts, and you will get to the Queen of Hearts castle. And what I mentioned earlier about Dumbo, about when he was being refurbished and you could see everything, that was from the Queen of Hearts castle, which is in the centre of, well, it's so say in the centre, it's more towards the end of the maze than it is in the centre. So he went on the Indiana Jones ride, didn't realise it went backwards, and he got stuck in the door. That's fantastic. But yeah, go through the doors. Take your time. I had one person that actually they could see the pathway was narrowing like that, and they still insisted they could go down there. I was like, you can't get down there. I still can't believe. Oh, Jodie, oh my god. Well, next time he goes to Disneyland, he'll know that. Well, maybe we could tell him that it still goes backwards, because he won't be expecting it to go forwards, will he? If we tell him it still goes backwards. But yeah, that labyrinth, you're going to get to see so many cool things if you just take your time. And the castle that's in the middle or towards the end, go right the way to the top. There are certain days when they'll close it, often because of the wind. And also, when I last went, which was when they were closing everything because of COVID, they had it closed off because it's a smaller viewing platform up there, so they had it closed off so that nobody could get close to each other. You could only go up one level. But even then, you could see everything. And it's a fantastic view. It's absolutely spectacular. Oh, Jodie. Oh God. For anyone wondering, like, me, Jodie, and Carly have recently become sisters, and yeah, sort of like we've become an adoptive family, and it's amazing. Like, I finally have 2 younger sisters. Like, I've always wanted sisters. I've always wanted a sister. Instead, all I ever had was a brother that I don't get on with and don't talk to. So to have sisters is amazing. So Jodie is like, she's my middle sister, and she's lovely, and I love her so much. So that's Bibbidi Bobbidi Two Tube. They're my sisters, and they're lovely. But yeah, the labyrinth is just, when Dumbo was, love you too, when Dumbo was being refurbed, and you could go to the top of the Queen of Hearts castle, you could see everything that they were doing in Dumbo. You could see that the ride was not there. You could just see every last little detail, and it was fantastic. Like, you could just, and there's no one there that's telling you to move, so you could have just stayed up there literally all day, just watching them work on Dumbo. And when Dumbo was closed, we had some amazing Instagram walls on there. Absolutely amazing Instagram walls where you could pose as if you were flying with Dumbo. And it was brilliant. Even my son, like even Jay, was just absolutely loved those. He doesn't often go bundle on photo walls, but he saw them and he went, I want a picture. So we've now done that. And outside, as you come out of Alice's Curious Labyrinth, there's a tea party scene, and you can sit at the head of the table and have like this massive hat on, and it's a really cute little photo op, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely magical. And this is often where you'll see Tweedledee, Tweedledum, Alice and the White Rabbit and the Mad Hatter and the Queen of Hearts. 6 characters will often do meet and greets in this area. I have, on one of my videos of early last year, so not the time I went when it was about to close, but the time before, I have videos of, I believe it was Tweedledee, I believe it was D, stealing a load of purple potion mini ears from one of the souvenir shops. And a backpack. He stole a backpack as well. And then when he went to put it back, he dropped it all. As you do. And then he came across a guest that was lost, so he stole her map and he was trying to tell her where to go. And you could just see the chaperone trying to get Tweedledee to go in, because this was not at their meet and greet place. This was where they're supposed to go in, where they're supposed to go backstage. He was at the door and he just wasn't going backstage. Which I thought was fantastic, and he was such a laugh, and it was just so good. The character interactions at Disneyland Paris are genuinely some of the best interactions you'll ever have. It's just so funny. Smee, Smee came out. I was in that same area where I was with Tweedledee, and Smee came over to me, gave me a kiss, and lifted his glasses like that several times. Yeah. Anyway, on topic. I knew Fantasyland was going to get a bit. So yeah. We've also got, obviously, it wouldn't be Fantasyland without the Mad Tea Party. It's shorter. It's a shorter ride than Orlando. I don't know if there's a reason for that. It's not much shorter, but it's a shorter ride than Orlando. I like the design of the teacups better than Orlando's teacups. Just the pictures on them, just the patterns on them. They've got, like, I feel like they've got a much nicer, much more sort of Alice-y vibe to them. And then this is when things get interesting at Fantasyland. There's a little path, and it's sort of if you go down this little path, and you just go down this path and you just follow it around, you'll come to like a little secret area that's not open until 10 o'clock in the morning. And in this little secret area, you'll often find some characters doing meet and greets. It's usually Winnie the Pooh and Piglet or whoever else he's decided to come out with. Oh, Jodie. But yeah, you go down this little secret path and there's a popcorn stand on your right and you get a woof of butter in your face. It's like woof, popcorn. And in this little area is Le Pays de Contes de Fées, which is like a little storybook boat ride on a track. And it's so cute. There's a different version of it in Disneyland in California that's something like it, but not quite the same. Le Pays de Contes de Fées is so whimsical, and there's like, you go through the Cave of Wonders and you go like when you get to the Wizard of Oz section, listen to the music, because I swear, and I know this is true because both pieces of music have this, if you go on that ride, you'll instantly think of Main Street Electrical Parade, because it goes which is what happens. That's in the Electric Light Parade, the Main Street Electrical Parade. It's in it, and it's in the same sort of music. It's the same music, and it just, I'm like, and also in this little area is Casey Jr. Le Petit Train de Cirque, which is Casey Jr. a little train, Casey Jr. the little circus train, and this I believe prepared JJ for roller coasters. It's not a roller coaster, but my son saw it as a roller coaster when he was a baby. He loved it. He thought it was fantastic. And you can ride it forward, you can ride it backwards. You can hit pigeons, as we did. We struck a pigeon. Pigeon was okay. Pigeon did not die. It is utter carnage. It starts so slow. And he goes, I thought I could, whoa! And when it goes, whoa, it goes, it's like, whoa! And it's a really fun little ride. It's like a little tiny kiddie area. This little tiny area of just these two rides. You can tell it's been made for really little kids. But it's like, you become a little kid. And if you get on the first ride of the day of Casey Jr., when you come back into the station, they'll go, again, just keep going. And then send it again. As long as there's nobody waiting to get on that ride, they'll send it again with you in it. And I've done this 4 or 5 times over. Well, we've just kept going and going and going. Because we were the first ones on it. Like, everybody else is too busy waiting for Hyperspace Mountain or Peter Pan's Flight or BTM. Why? Go to Casey Jr. It's like Jodie said, it's utter carnage. You go on it thinking it's going to be a really nice, really slow ride, and then as soon as it goes woohoo, it goes, it's like, whoa. It's brilliant. It's such a fun little ride, and I just see, it is, Miriam, it's true. When you go on that Casey Jr. ride, it doesn't matter how old you are, you become a kid. You become a little tiny kid, because that's the emotion it brings out in you. And it's just, there's something about adults being able to get on rides that are clearly made for little kids, and there's no judgment. You just go on and have a good time. and it's fantastic. And it really is. It's just brilliant. it's so. Oh no, Jodie, don't. When I went to Disney World and we were on Big Thunder Mountain, we went on. We were in the queue. We knew it was coming up to park close, and the fireworks were all going off, and boom, you know, they've had the fireworks show long gone. We went. There was no queue. It was a walk on. Train comes into the station. We thought, oh, this is our train. No, they just check it and they send it out backwards, and we're like, bye bye. He's going to bed. And we thought, well, we're going to be the last ones on. So we get on. We're at the back. Well, actually, no, we're in the middle. And there's a guy at the front. And as it leaves, this guy goes, oh my God, who's driving this thing? And around we went. And we came back around. And as we came off, there was 30 seconds. Even the cast member said, you've got 30 seconds if you want to get back on. We went back on. Came off, we got back in that queue line to go back on. Every single one of us from that train, every single one of us. And we all went, same guy. We're sat at the back on this one, the same guy. Oh my God, there's still nobody driving this thing. And we came back through the station at the end. By the time we come in, we were all sat there going, one more time. Off we go. And we didn't get away with it another time. They said, no, you've got to come off because we want to go home. But yeah, that was our little bit of fun. I've got to try that in Paris, actually. I've not been on Big Thunder Mountain at the end of the day in Paris because I know what it's like with the crowds leaving Paris at the end of the day. And I make the conscious decision to go, I'm going to leave. If I'm staying off site, say I'm staying in one of the partner hotels, I don't stay in the park until park close because it's carnage getting on. If you're in the partner hotels, like the Ile-de-France hotels, it's carnage. It's utter carnage getting on that bus. So I leave well before the park can close. If I don't leave before the park closes, then I go into Disney Village and I'll hang out there until about 9 at night. If it's a winter, I'll hang out at Disney Village till about 9, just so that it's well and truly cleared out. Obviously, by which time there's no one waiting to get on that bus, so off I go. If I'm staying at the Disney hotel, it's not so bad. I'll still leave well before that stampede has a chance to come out, though. Which is why I swear on that last night before it all closed, I swear that's why they held off on the Star Wars show, because they didn't start that last Star Wars fireworks show until after Illuminations had finished. They held it on. They didn't do any announcements. They just held it on. And we were very aware that Illuminations had started and finished. And literally the second it finished over in the other park, and you could hear everyone clapping, da, 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 and it was like, oh, okay. So I swear they waited for Illuminations to finish on purpose so that they could get everyone from the main park through before the studios exit, like, finished. So yeah. But yeah, Fantasyland coming back in. Jodie, do you remember from when you were a little girl what the windmill used to be? Or you, Miriam, did anyone remember what the windmill used to be? I'm excited to see if you know what the windmill used to be. Because it was a Ferris wheel. It was a Ferris wheel. The Ferris wheel was closed a long time before they removed it. You got it right. But yeah, it was closed a long time before they removed it. In 2004, when I was there for my 18th birthday, it was still there. It wasn't running, but it was still there. It wasn't there the next year when I was a cast member. So it came down sometime between September 2004, I'd say, and September 2005. Yeah, that's the one. It's now just a snack kiosk that sells delicious snacks. But yeah, it used to be a little kid's Ferris wheel. It never really got popular. It never really got popular, which is a shame because it was a really cute little Ferris wheel, and I wish it was still there. I think if it was there today, it would be popular, but it wasn't when it was there. It wasn't popular. But like I said, it closed long before they took it down. So, like I said, so many people could see it and knew it was there before they realised it's never going to open. So yeah, it eventually got taken down. You can still see, if you look, you can still see like the stuff where it used to be attached. It's still there, like the little arm that comes out of the mill. It's still there. But it doesn't. It's not been there for a while, which is a shame. Because it was a cute little thing. But it's not there now. We've just got a nice snack stand. I make that face because it's a nice snack stand. Don't get me wrong, but I'd really love that cute little Ferris wheel to be back. And also going around from there, sort of you get to the more classic-y sort of area of Fantasyland. So you've got I'm going to go for It's a Small World sort of in that area next, which I know it is. I'm just trying to think of which section to go, Fantasyland to go to, which section to finish up. I know where I'm going to finish. So Fantasyland's It's a Small World. Since it's been closed, they fixed the fountain. It's only taken how many years? And they've not exactly done a proper job. It has been bodged, but they fixed it. It looks a lot better than it did. A lot better. See, Jodie, I don't like It's a Small World overly much, but I can manage it. My son, when he was a baby, we had to go on, and this is why I don't like it much, we had to go on that ride over and over and over and over and over. There's a creepypasta story about It's a Small World and the family being imprisoned by the dolls. That was us, only we were imprisoned by a baby. I think we were imprisoned by a 2-year-old. 1-year-old when he first went on it. Literally, it was 2 days before his second birthday, so he was 1. For 3 years straight, every time we went, It's a Small World, over and over and over. Maybe one or two goes on the buzz ride, but Small World. He won't go on it anymore. That's why I don't go on it much, because I'm still fed up. I'm still so fed up of that ride. It's so beautiful and colourful though. Like when I first went on it again last year, which was the first time since Jay was little, because I'm still that fed up of it. I forgot just how beautiful, especially the White Room. I forgot how beautiful that ride actually is. But again, I don't go on it much. I went on it when I did my every ride in one day challenge, which I did film, but I lost the videos. So next time I go and next time everything's open, I've got to do that challenge again. Only it will be worse this time because when I did it the last time round, Autopia was closed, the carousel was closed, Crush Coaster was closed, and Studio Tram Tour, it kept going down. Every time I got in the queue, it broke down. So I was like, well, that's a write-off. It's not going to work, clearly. So I have to redo my every ride in one day challenge. I wouldn't, Jodie. I wouldn't go on it every day. I wouldn't. I'm sorry, I wouldn't. So yeah, I'd do it once a trip. That's it. Yeah, Crush Coaster is a massive, massive queue in the studios, and it's I don't like spinning roller. I don't like spinning too far. I don't like spinning roller coasters at all. I've only done Crush Coaster once, and that was another reason why I decided to do my every ride in one day challenge when it was closed. It's like I get off because it's closed for refurb. It's not gonna be next time I do it, is it? I'll have to get there. I think what I'll do is go straight to Crush. I'll make sure that I'm at the gates for 7:30 in the morning. I'll go straight to Crush as soon as it's open. Because if not, it's just going to be a nightmare of a queue. There used to be fast passes for that ride, now there's not. They need to put them back because it's ridiculous. Mind you, they have got single rider. No, have they? Because last time I went, they didn't even have that. That was closed. And that was before the pandemic. So yeah, sometimes they have single rider, sometimes they don't. But they used to have fast pass for it, and now they don't. They really need to put that back. But anyway, we're off topic. Going back to Fantasyland. I'm so happy for the people that have stayed. I'm sorry this is going on. I'm honestly having a lot of fun just talking and reading the comments and responding and stuff. But yeah. So it's a small world in Fantasyland. It's not like America. It's not like when you're going to have the individual guys. First time I went on Crush. It was a lot faster, yeah. If you've ever been on Spinball at Alton Towers, that's exactly what Crush is like. I used to work Spinball and I was terrified of it. I never once went on it when I worked it. Not once. And then I went on Crush. But yeah, so It's a Small World will not have the personalized goodbyes when you get off of it, but it's still nice. It's still a nice little ride. And also next to It's a Small World, that's where the parades start out from. When I worked there, they started off from the other end. When I worked there, actually, some days we'd start from It's a Small World, and some days we'd start from the other end. It sort of alternated. If we finished at one end one day, we went back in the other direction the next day. That's honestly what happened in 2005. If we started at one end one day, we'd start at the other end the next day. Go figure that out. It's ridiculous. Like the Halloween parade, the amount of time, literally, the amount of times we started from Main Street and worked our way to Small World. We did that more. And then I'd say about 2 weeks into the parade, they decided they were going to run it the way that we'd done other parades, which was to do that. But yeah, the majority of the parades, like I said, they used to start from the other end, and they used to alternate what end they started from. But now they all start from It's a Small World. And I honestly have to say, if you sit opposite the gate, if you wait, the best viewing for especially for Stars on Parade is if you wait outside Pizzeria Bella Notte, and there's an ice cream shop there as well. Pizzeria Bella Notte being, like I've said, exactly the same as Colonel Hathie's. But if you wait outside there, I think that's probably one of the best viewing areas for the parade, because you see it at its very start. So you see the gates open, and I just think that's fantastic. Seeing the gates open like that and seeing it start is magical. But not only that, once the parade... Oh, I didn't say... He thinks I said CAT. Once the entire parade has been past you, follow it down a bit, or go behind the people, and make a mad dash through. In fact, you could even do it just walking. Go through the Discovery Arcade, and you can see the parade again, twice in one go. You can see the parade, so you can see it at the start and at the finish, which I do every single time. Every time. Christmas parade, I did the same. Watched it from the starting point, watched it from its finishing point. It's so good. You can, like, everyone, so many people follow the parade, where if you just go through the Discovery Arcade, you're going to see the parade again from the start, and it's amazing. Like, especially if you're only doing a one night stay, that means you get to see the parade twice. So be smart, do it that way around. If not, if you think you've not left enough time, like I went to the Lucky Nugget once for when it was Halloween. I went to the Lucky Nugget a couple of years back, and I knew the parade was out, and I thought, oh God, I'm missing it. I'm not going to make it. I wasn't that bothered. And then when I got out of Lucky Nugget, I looked at the time and I thought, I've got time. And I thought, I'm not going to go to I won't make it to the Fantasyland end on time. So I went to the ending point for the parade, and there was no one there. Literally nobody at that end of the park. The whole of that part of Main Street, not a single person. So yeah, the parade, watch it from the start, cut through the Discovery Arcade, watch it at the end. Anyway, other attractions in Fantasyland, you have the carousel. Beautiful, beautiful carousel. You have Snow White's Scary Adventure. I'm going to give it the English name because, let's face it, it is Snow White's Scary Adventure. And also Pinocchio, the Pinocchio ride. Both of those rides can be really scary for little kids. They can be mega scary for kids. So, and especially now, like I've seen, I don't know if you've seen the new paint job on Snow White in particular, Snow White's Scary Adventure and Pinocchio. The new paint jobs that they've had done since lockdown are very vibrant, but very scary. Like the trees in the forest of the Snow White ride are so their faces stand out more now. It's so much scarier. So yeah, Monstro in the Pinocchio ride is, yeah, they're terrifying. Those two rides can be really terrifying. So if you've got little kids, just beware. If you're going on those rides, might not be suitable for your little children. And you might be stuck. In fact, you will be stuck in certain areas of the ride when you're waiting to get off of the ride. That's usually in the good scenes at the end. But if your kids have been scared by the rest of the ride, they're going to want to get off of there as quick as they possibly can. And yeah, so just if you're planning a trip, look up those 2 rides on YouTube before. I've got videos of them, but other people have as well. Just look up those 2 rides because they can be so scary for small children. And like I said, you're going to be in a queue to get off. The ride vehicles queue up at the end. There's no fast way off of these rides. There you go. See, if you get stuck in an area where your kid is scared, you've ruined their Disney experience. Just saying, don't go on these rides if you've got little kids without viewing them on YouTube first. Look them up, because I know of so many children that get scared on those rides, and it's really not fair to put your kids through something they're terrified of like that, especially as it can make them not want to go on a ride the rest of the time they're there, and that could really, really ruin the experience for you, because you might want to get on a ride, especially if you're there on your own with your child or children. Yet if you've terrified them with Snow White and Pinocchio, what's to say they're going to even want to get on Pirates? What's to say they're even going, and that's a dark ride as it is, and what's to say they're going to want to get on Small World? What's to say they're going to want to get on Le Pays de Contes de Fées? They're not going to want to, because they'll be terrified. So look up those rides first. It's very important, especially with their new paint jobs now. It's very important to look up those rides, because if there's any chance of your child being scared of those rides, don't do it. You'll just ruin your whole Disney experience. Don't do it. So yeah, I've covered every ride. I am going to stick with Snow White just for a second. There is a very special window above the Snow White ride, and the Evil Queen is up there. Keep watching the window that is above the Snow White ride, and the curtains will open, and the Evil Queen is looking out the window, looking over Fantasyland. It's which is especially brilliant in the dark. If you get there for, like I did, for that time, for 7:30 in the morning, and it's not light yet, look at that window. It's gorgeous. And look at the carousel. It's so pretty. It's one of the only times you'll get to take pictures, because Fantasyland closes early for illuminations. So if you get there early in the morning, head straight to Fantasyland if you want pictures of that land in the dark. It's beautiful, and I would highly recommend it. So we've done rides, eating places. Like I said, there's the Pinocchio one. I'm just going to call it the Pinocchio one, because I get the pronunciation of it wrong every time. Even though I speak French, I get it wrong. Okay, Miriam, thank you so much for coming. I know I've really sort of gone on and on, but I'm so excited. Like, I did Adventureland, and I got hooked on Fantasyland as well. But thank you so much for joining, Miriam. I've loved having you here. Thank you so much. Thank you. So yeah, eating places. You've got the Pinocchio one, Toad Hall, Pizzeria Bella Notte. You've got various, there's an ice cream stand. There's ice cream next to Pizzeria Bella Notte. You've got various snack stands. Princess Pavilion. We've got the Princess Pavilion. I forgot the Princess Pavilion, where meet and greet. This is where I really hate Disney for doing this. That Princess Pavilion, you can be queuing up for anything up to 2 hours to meet one princess. There's 2 princesses in there, but you only get to meet one. One princess. It's like, oh, by the way, when I say there's 2 princesses in there, there's one in the morning and one in the afternoon. So if you want to meet both princesses, you've got to queue up twice. That's 4 hours of your day gone. Good luck with that. Sometimes it can be 3 hours of your day for one princess. So sometimes overall that can be 6 hours of your day. Why? There's a princess character dining. Go and do that. When it's reopened, this eating with the princesses is mega pricey. Really, really pricey, but it's worth it. The food is amazing. You get to meet several princesses and sometimes princes. Cinderella is always there. There's a gorgeous photo stop with Cinderella's carriage. Go do it. Why queue up for anything up to 3 hours on a busy day when you can go and eat? I know it's going to be really costly, but you're going to have a really good meal and you're going to meet several princesses at once. And to me, that's completely worth it. And they do breakfast there now as well, which is cheaper than a lunch or dinner. So go do it. That's the sit down location in Fantasyland, is the princess dining. Auberge de Saint. See what I mean? My pronunciation's all over the place at the moment. Auberge de Cendrillon. But yeah, go do that instead. So, and there's obviously this, you've got your souvenir shops, they're everywhere in Fantasyland. There's a massive beanstalk. You've got characters galore in Fantasyland. So, like I said, you've got the princesses, you've got Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, Peter Pan. I've seen Peter Pan roaming around Fantasyland the way he does in Orlando. I've seen him roaming around there as well. Alice, all the Alice characters, like I said, Peter Pan, Lady Tremaine and her daughters, they are often roaming characters there, which is great. Belle, Gaston, yeah, they're all there, and it's fantastic. My last 2 attractions in Fantasyland, and I'm going to start with going upstairs in the castle. There is a very, very sweet walk through of the Sleeping Beauty story. As you'll probably know, it's Sleeping Beauty Castle in Disneyland Paris, and if you go upstairs, you'll get to see like a walk through. It's all done on like stained glass and figures, and it's beautiful, and you read the storybook as you're going along of Sleeping Beauty, and then you come out onto the balcony at the back of the castle and overlook Fantasyland, and it's just stunning. It's beautiful, and it's well worth going up there. So definitely give that a go. And then the last attraction in Fantasyland, go down the stairs in the castle, follow it around. You'll come to like a little dungeony area. There's a dragon! Yes, our castle has a dragon. I didn't say feline. He thinks I said feline. Our castle has a dragon. And most people think it's Maleficent, but it's not. It's Merlin's dragon. It's Merlin's pet dragon. And it's so amazing. It's like, oh, love it. It's the lighting effects down there are insane. The smoke effects, just everything. It's stunning. Like, so like, if you haven't seen it, go and see it. It is a wonderful, wonderful. Oh, Jodie, now I'm thinking of Pete's dragon. A dragon. I swear I saw a dragon. You're off your hinges, all those binges put you in a daze. You crazy fools, it's still your doggone fault he's in a daze. Let go of me, and fix your wicked ways. Oh, I love Pete's Dragon. Jodie, why did you do that? I'm gonna have to watch Pete's Dragon now. Not the new one. The new one's crap. I love Elliot. I love you. It's a brazzle dazzle day. Candle on the water. He has the head of a camel, the neck of a crocodile. You've got me hooked on that now. Now I'm singing Pete's Dragon songs. Thanks, Jodie. But yeah, go and pay a visit to the dragon. You won't regret it. That's it. Other than inside the castle, on the ground floor, you've got a couple of shops. One is a Christmas shop. Well worth a visit. It's so cool. It's so cute in there. I love it. And the other one, if I'm right, is it the glass? Is it a glassware shop, Jodie? I know it's got ornaments and stuff in. Yeah, it's really nice. And there's also like a little Splash Mountain. Like I say Splash Mountain because I'm not going to say the name of the film because I'm against that film. But yeah, it's a little Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox, and all that little figures, little water feature there where people throw coins. And just to let you know, all those coins are rounded up and donated to a very special charity. And one of the times I was there last year, Emmanuel Macron's wife was there. They were filming for this. It's a bit like our Children in Need and Comic Relief. It's a bit like that. A bit like our Children in Need, but it's the French version. And Emmanuel Macron's wife was there filming for that day. And she was there. So yeah, they collect all the coins out of that water feature. All the coins that get thrown into fountains and stuff at Disneyland Paris, they get gathered up and donated to this charity. And I think that's so sweet. And so she was there last year visiting for that charity, and it was wonderful. And yeah, so next time you're there and you see that, don't think people are just being stupid and throwing the money away. They're not. They're donating the money to charity, and it's amazing. And I think it's a really, really cute thing to do. It's a nice, cute little feature. Put a penny in there. What have I said now? You can oh no all you like. I didn't say feline. Oh no. Oh. There you go. Oh no. Oh no. Right, so that's gonna this video has gone on like way longer than I was planning. I was planning for like half an hour just to chat about Adventureland, and I got carried away talking about Fantasyland as well with Jodie and Miriam, and it's been so much fun. But I'm gonna get going now because I need to take that thing just there. He needs to go out there. That's what he wants. You looking for the bunny rat? I can't. So that I can say the name of animals in conversation, I've had to come up with bunny rats for in here. So now I can say rabbits and squirrels and stuff, and he doesn't know what they are because he's expecting bunny rats. Look at this. Look. Yes, that actually is stitching angel vinyl stickers on my window. I've got loads. I've got something for Carly. Don't let me forget. I was supposed to send it with her Valentine's present, and I didn't. I forgot. Anyway, that's going to round up today's video. I've gone on for nearly 2 hours. Wow. So I'm going to call it a day there. I'm going to get off of here now. Jodie, if you're up for it, do you want a phone call and have a proper chat, like right into one of our stupid crazy chats. That'd be really cool. But yeah, I've got to take him out because he's well overdue going out, so I've got to take him out. And yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, I'll give you a call after I've taken him out. I'm going to get going. I'm going to take him out. I'm thinking Mondays I will probably do a live chat like this, and the next one I'll be covering the studios, the Walt Disney Studios. We've talked a little bit about the studios tonight. I shall be talking about them more in the next one, especially on how to make the studios an all-day park, because yes, I take a whole day to see the studios. And when I went with a friend who was a first timer last year, which was when it was all closing, I made sure that we spent the whole day at the studios, because so many people say it's 0.5 of a park. No, you can do a whole day at this park if you do it properly, and you will enjoy every moment of it, I swear. So yeah, I'm just going to take this thing out now, and I should be back next Monday to talk about the studios. And then after the studios, I'm thinking, do you think I should start talking about the hotels or the Disney Village? We'll decide on the phone call. Anyway, thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.